Everybody, peace. Welcome to the GSMC College Football Podcast show. As you guys know, I'm your host, Sean Cottle, and we've got a wonderful show in store for you today, guys. We're going to be covering all of the top games from this week, coming up this weekend in college football, and we're going to dedicate this entire show today to just doing strictly previews. Just because there's that many exciting games this week, we're going to dedicate today's show and tomorrow's show to just the top games of the week. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to get into it, guys. We got Pac-12 matchups. We've got Big Ten matchups. We've got SEC matchups. A lot of exciting college football coming up. So that being said, guys, we're gonna get right into it. But before we get started, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, so you guys can stay up to date on all of our latest content. Be sure to follow us on Patreon as well. You can do so by going to patreon.com, clicking on the search bar, and typing in GSMC Sports Network. That way you get access to all of our exclusive content that we post daily. If you'd like to support our network and our company, you can do so by following the link in the ticker below. It's streamelements.com/GSMCSportsNetwork./tip. Once again, it's streamelements.com/GSMCSportsNetwork./tip. None of this is possible without you guys, the fans, so we're just so grateful for all the love and support that you show us, and it's an honor to have this platform and share my thoughts and insight on college football with you guys. And that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get right into it, okay? So, Pac-12 matchup, starting off. Number 11, Utah, going up against number 22 ranked UCLA. All right. Matchup predictor currently has Utah with a 65.9% chance of winning. This game will be played at Rice-Eccles Stadium, so it's a home game for Utah. The over-under is currently set at 52.5, and the line currently has Utah -6. So Vegas thinks this is going to be a pretty good game, mainly due to the fact that that Utah is dealing with a couple of injuries. Utah has a couple of injuries that's dealing with right now. Particularly on the defensive side of the ball. I'll save that for the next segment. But Utah's running game has been phenomenal throughout this entire season. They're averaging 187 yards in the ground, while averaging 170 in the air. Where they have struggled at, though, is defensively. Both these teams struggle quite a bit defensively. Utah allows 270 yards, and UCLA allows 278 yards per game. But UCLA's defensive interior, particularly their linebacker core, has done a good job this season, only allowing 69 yards per game on the ground, and Utah, respectively as well, only allows 65 yards on the ground so far this year. And look at this stat right here. The UCLA is averaging 270 yards on the ground. Wow. Okay. 270 yards on the ground. UCLA is averaging 527 total yards of offense this year. Led by Carson Steele, who has 243 yards on 30 carries with 2 touchdowns, averaging 8.1 yards per carry. Wow, it's phenomenal. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I know I just read off how many yards they're allowing on the ground, but neither of the teams have played anyone of particular ilk. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I do think that Utah's offense is a bit more explosive than UCLA's. You know what? No. I don't actually. I think UCLA is going to win this game. I know I was going to play it safe, but no, I do think UCLA's offense is quite explosive, and Utah has a lot of injuries, and Moore, the quarterback for UCLA, has 615 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception so far. Utah has primarily relied on their running attack, and listen, I just think that UCLA's offensive firepower is going to stand out, and I got UCLA winning this game. I do think it's gonna be a high scoring game, though. I think it's gonna be in the high 30s, low 40s. Right now, I have UCLA winning this game by a score of 41-35, and I won't be surprised if it comes down to the last possession of the game. It's tight throughout, and UCLA needs to put together a final drive to win this game, and that's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be a bit of an upset. Oh, it is gonna be an upset because UCLA is ranked 22, and that's what I have so far. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about this game right here? Do you think that Utah is gonna, protect their home field and win this game, or do you think that UCLA is gonna pull off the upset? And why? Let me know why you think that, or why you think what you think. And I just think the offensive firepower, man, is just too much, man. And there's so much balance as well on UCLA's offensive side. They don't rely too heavily on the run. They don't rely too heavily on the passes. Balance. I mean, they're averaging 256 yards on the ground. I mean, in the air. And like I said, they're averaging 270 yards on the ground. So I think UCLA is going to win this game, man. And like I said, by a score of 41-35, I think it'll be close throughout, though. And I think UCLA is going to need a final drive to win this game against Utah. But let me know what you guys think, man. I think it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be an exciting game to watch. But let me know what you guys think about that. But in our next segment, guys, we're going to be covering some more previews. We're going to stick with our previews, and we're actually going to be doing a SEC matchup. So, guys, be sure to stick around. We got a lot more content to talk about, and you're not going to miss any of it. All right, everybody, welcome back. In case you missed the first segment of our show, we discussed our predictions for the Pac-12 matchup between UCLA and Utah. I think it's going to be an exciting matchup, high-scoring game. Did have UCLA pulling off the upset, though. But let me know what you guys think about that game right there. I think it's going to be an exciting game either way, and I'm excited to watch it. But in this segment, guys, I want to cover an SEC matchup between number 12 ranked LSU and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Let's go get right into it. And a matchup predictor currently has LSU with an 88.5% chance of winning this game. And this game will be played in Tiger Stadium. So it's a home game, Baton Rouge for LSU. The over-under is currently set at 55. And LSU has the spread of minus 17.5. So Vegas doesn't think this is going to be a particularly close game. And quite frankly, neither do I. Really, I want to use this game as a framing device to shed light on Jaden Daniels' possible Heisman candidacy. With official start to conference play, I do believe that Jaden Daniels is going to have a phenomenal game against Arkansas, and I think it's going to account for 4 total touchdowns. I think he's going to have at least 2 in the air, at least 2, and he's going to have 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns as well. But I think this is going to be a big game for Jaden Daniels, and it's going to get him back on track. And mind you, Jaden Daniels is not only, obviously, he's the passing leader for LSU, but he's also the leader in rushing yards as well. This offense goes through Jaden Daniels, and Arkansas is starting to play with a little bit more rhythm. Though they lost to BYU throughout the year. They lost to BYU last week. An average BYU. So I just feel like LSU is going to take advantage of this Arkansas team. And like I said earlier this week, LSU is starting to get into a rhythm, just how they were last year. They're starting to peak as the season goes along. And I won't be surprised if LSU hangs at least 35 points on this Arkansas team. And I don't think this game is not going to be close at all. I think in the first quarter it'll be about 7-10. But LSU is going to pull away. They'll probably score about 14 points in the second quarter, and in the third quarter continue to pull away and then take their foot off the gas a little bit in the fourth quarter. But I think LSU is going to have at least 35 points, and Arkansas might get 15. Might get 17 at the most. So 35-17 is the score I'll go with right now for LSU, and I don't think this game is going to be particularly close at all. But I would love to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about this game? I think like I said, I just want to use this game as a framing device to shed light on Jaden Daniels' performance and him, continuing to place his mark on the Heisman candidacy list. And I don't think, and it's a night game on ESPN. I don't think this game's going to be close, man, but people are going to get to see that Jaden Daniels is a legitimate Heisman candidate, and they're going to be able to see the improvements he made from last season, even the improvements he made from the Florida State game. So I'm excited to watch this game. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you think it's going to be a good game? How do you think Jaden Daniels is going to perform? How do you think the Arkansas defense is going to perform? I mean, this is defense that is only allowing 257 yards total per game, and only allowing 55 rushing yards per game. But they only average 219 passing yards per game and only average 370 total yards per game. So they struggle offensively. I mean, they scored their high this season is 31 against BYU, scored 28 against Kent State, and they put up 56 against WCU, but it is WCU. But let me know what you guys think about that. And that's it is pretty much it I have for that segment, for this segment, guys. But in our next preview, our next game, we are going to be covering another Pac-12 matchup, man. And we got some interesting things to talk about for this next topic, for this next preview game. But be sure to stick around, guys. You're not going to miss any of it. We will be right back. Everybody, welcome back. In case you missed the first two segments of our show, don't worry, we've been doing all previews for the top games this week. So we covered a Pac-12 matchup between UCLA and Utah. I do have UCLA pulling off the upset against Utah in that game, 41-35. And then we covered an SEC matchup between LSU and Arkansas. I have LSU winning that game by a score of 35-17. And in this segment, guys, we're going to be covering another Pac-12 matchup between Oregon State and Washington State. And by the way, I know we talked about this on Monday about who's the best conference in college football right now, and I said the Pac-12 hesitantly. I said the Pac-12, but listen now. Without a doubt, emphatically, I can confidently say that the Pac-12 is by far the best conference in college football right now. I mean, you've got USC, Oregon, Colorado, Washington, who no one is talking about for some reason. We covered their game yesterday, their preview game. UCLA, Utah, Oregon State, Washington State, Texas Tech. These are 9 teams. 8 teams ranked in the top 25. I mean, yeah. For me, there's no doubt about it that the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football right now, and it's not even close. But yeah, so let's get into this Oregon State-Washington State game. Match predictor currently has Oregon State winning this game by a score of 65. With a 65.7% chance of winning this game. This game will be played in Martin Stadium, so it is a home game for Washington State. And the over-under is currently set at 58.5. And Oregon State has a line of -3. So Vegas obviously thinks this is going to be a close game. But I do have Washington State pulling off the upset in this game, man. Their quarterback Ward currently has 986 yards in the season, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Ward is also their leading rusher with 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Washington State is averaging 400 yards passing. So, but they do average 135 yards on the ground as well. As you know, Washington State beat Colorado State to open the season 50-24. They upset Wisconsin, covered that game, and then they also beat UNC 64-21 last week. And Oregon State, they beat San Jose State to open the season. Then they beat University of Cal Davis, and they beat San Diego State as well. This is going to be, once again, it's the Pac-12, so I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But I think that Washington State is going to win this game 40-30. I do think that Washington State is going to be able to get a couple stops late in the game against Oregon to increase their lead. I think Ward is going to have over 300 yards passing and account for over 3 touchdowns. And I think that Washington State is going to prove that their upset win against Wisconsin was not a fluke, and they are one of the best teams in the Pac-12. I mean, who can you say is definitively the best team in the Pac-12 right now? You can't say USC. Can you say Washington? I know they have the best passing attack in the nation, but defensively they struggle. No one thinks Oregon for some reason. I don't think so either. But I think Washington State is up there. Oregon State is up there. I will say this though: the winner between the Oregon State and Washington State matchup will have a very good chance of playing in the Pac-12 championship. But I think Washington State is going to win this game. And like I said on Tuesday, we have a very good chance of this being the first year where a one loss Pac-12 champion will make it to the college football playoff, because there's just so much talent, man, in this conference. I mean, say a one loss Colorado or a one loss Washington State, even a one loss Washington, even a one loss USC. them getting into the college football playoff with the Pac-12 championship is still likely, man. And so, like I said, I think the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football right now, and I think Washington State's gonna pull off this upset. But I don't think it's necessarily an upset because I think Washington's just better than Oregon State. The game's gonna play at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so about 4 o'clock, afternoon game for the West Coast. But it's gonna be on Fox, so primetime game. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this matchup between Washington State and Oregon State. Do you guys think that Washington State is going to pull off the upset? Or do you think Oregon State is going to dominate Washington State? What are you guys seeing? What are you guys thinking? What's the outcome for this game? I have Washington State winning this game. Like I said, 40-30. I think it's going to be close throughout, going to the fourth quarter, but I think Washington State's going to be able to get 2 or 3 stops in a row to widen that margin, widen that gap between the two teams. But, guys, in our last preview, we are going to be covering a Big Ten matchup. Very interesting Big Ten matchup. Old school Big Ten matchup. So, guys, be sure to stick around for all that. You're not going to miss it. All right, everybody, welcome back to the last segment of our show. In case you missed our previous segments, we talked about, it was all previews we did today. So we covered Pac-12 matchup between UCLA and Utah. Then we covered, by the way, I do have UCLA pulling off the upset in that game. And we also covered an SEC matchup between Arkansas and LSU. Jaden Daniels is going to show the nation why he is a legitimate Heisman candidate. And we covered another Pac-12 matchup between Washington State and Oregon State. And I think Washington State is also going to pull off the upset. And Washington State is going to solidify themselves one of the best teams in the Pac-12. I'll let us know what you guys think about all that. Before we get started, though, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, as well as you guys get updates to all of our latest content. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Patreon as well. You can do so by going to patreon.com, click on the search bar, and type again GSMC Sports Network, so you can get access to all of our exclusive content that we post daily. If you'd like to support our network and our company, you can do so by following the link in the ticker below. It's streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Once again, it's streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out our other podcast shows that we have on the network as well. All of our hosts do an amazing job of covering and providing insight on the sports that they cover, and they're some of the best in the business. So, that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Big Ten matchup, okay. Big Ten matchup. We got Penn State, ranked number 7, going up against number 24, ranked Iowa. Matchup predictor currently has Penn State with an 86.9% chance of winning this game. This game will be at Beaver Stadium, so it's a home game for Penn State. Currently, the over-under is set at 40, and Penn State has the line of -15. It's going to be a tough game. Low-scoring game, obviously, with this Big Ten matchup. And, just looking at the ranks, you want to be quick to say, okay, well, Penn State's going to win this game. But we know that Iowa always plays Penn State tough, no matter what the rankings are. When they play each other, and think back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, Iowa pulled off the upset, or 2018, one of you guys can correct me. Iowa pulled off a major upset against Penn State when they were ranked number 4, number 5 in the nation. And we know Iowa has a physical defensive line, and they only allow 286 total yards per game, only allow 179 passing yards per game. Highly styled defensive team, but offensively, obviously, where they struggle. They beat Western Michigan last week, 41-10. They beat Iowa State the week before that, 20-13, and they beat Utah State to open up the season, 24-14. I'm sorry, and then Penn State. Averaging 467 total yards per game while allowing 267 total yards per game. Last week they beat Illinois 30-13. Week before that they beat Delaware 63-7, and they opened up the season beating West Virginia 38-15. So I don't think Penn State's rushing attack is going to be as prominent as it's been so far this year, which means that there's going to be more pressure on Aller to be accurate with throwing the ball. He has 737 yards, but only 4 touchdowns so far in the year. Iowa likes to run a lot of zone coverage. So will Aller be able to find those pockets in the zone? And that's going to be the biggest question. And yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to. But the thing with this matchup right here, Iowa's offense is just struggles so much, man. I don't think they're going to have enough scoring, be able to produce enough scoring to keep their defense in the game. And I do think this game will be close, but Penn State's going to be able to pull away. I think Penn State win this game by a score of 24-17. Excuse me. And, I think Penn State will get a late field goal with about 3 minutes left in the game, and then they'll get a stop against Iowa right after that, and then they'll run out the clock. And I think that's how this game is going to turn out. Iowa just doesn't score the ball enough. They don't score the ball well enough. They don't move the ball well enough consistently, and they haven't really played a defense as good as Penn State's. And I just, I think this game will be physical, just like these matchups always are. But I do think Penn State's gonna pull away and win this game, 24-17. And that's what I have for this game. And I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about this matchup right here? What do you guys see? How do you think it's gonna turn out? Do you think Penn State is gonna be able to, protect their own field? Do you think Iowa's gonna be able to pull off the upset again against Penn State? Something they've done quite frequently over the past couple seasons. What does this mean for Penn State moving forward in the Big Ten championship, or in their chances of winning the Big Ten championship? Just let me know what you guys think about all that. I'll be interested to see. But I think when Penn State wins this game, will put Ohio State and Michigan on notice moving forward. I will say that, though. But like I said, I have Penn State win this game by a score 24-17. Extremely physical game. Let us know what you guys think, though. But guys, that is it for our preview show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and be sure to subscribe to us on Patreon as well. And be sure to check out our other shows on our network, the GSMC Baseball Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, GSMC Fantasy Football Podcast, and the GSMC NFL Podcast as well. All of our hosts, like I said, provide great insight and knowledge and in-depth analysis on the sports that they cover, and they're some of the best in the business, and it's an honor to be working alongside them. And we'll be back again, same time tomorrow, guys, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, with another show solely dedicated to previews for the top games of the week. So, 2 preview shows, 2 days in a row. I know you guys are excited about that, and I'm just happy to give you guys what you want. So, like I said, we'll be back again same time tomorrow. Until then, continue to stay safe, be vigilant, make smart decisions, and until next time, guys, peace.